Welcome back to Weekend Prime. Let's shift focus to mother's health. And when life gets heavy and stress begins to weigh you down, how do you let it out? Do you take a walk, listen to music, or breathe deeply to calm your nerves? What if the answer lies in something as unexpected as a scream? On this episode of Health Digest, Gloria Milimu takes us into the world of expressive therapies and how something as simple as raising your voice could offer emotional release and boost mental wellness. Take a look.
Everyone has a different way of coping with stressful moments. Some take quick walks to clear their heads, others breathe deeply to calm their nerves, while many simply turn to music for comfort. But here's something you may not have thought of. Screaming. As unusual as it sounds, letting out a raw scream can actually help release frustration.
Scream.
For people like Josephat Muchesia, a resident of Nairobi, screaming into the void has been a coping mechanism whenever he feels like blowing off steam.
So, Josephat, how do you feel now?
Okay, when I came in, I was feeling like stressed up kidogo. But when I went to the booth and I screamed, now I feel relieved kidogo.
What Joseph does is what psychologists refer to as scream therapy, a form of therapy believed to help people release unresolved emotional pain or trauma. The idea traces back to the 1970s when psychologist Arthur Janov introduced primal therapy, a form of healing that works like a safety valve, releasing pressure through the power of the voice and allowing the screamer to let go of pent-up emotions.
Scream therapy, you are going to be alone. Talk therapy, we normally have like a psychologist or a therapist and like a person. So you get into that booth with the intention of actually releasing those suppressed emotions. It could be anger, it could be like physical tension.
In Kenya, where 1 out of every 4 people go through mental distress, expressive therapies like screaming is slowly gaining traction. With a twist of artificial intelligence, this form of therapy is helping people like Muchesia break down emotional barriers, leaving them with reduced stress and anxiety levels.
It feels somehow awkward for a man to go to a booth and just scream. But for me, I feel good. I feel refreshed, hata kama si sana.
However, it is not just about shouting. This form of therapy is often guided, and in this case, an application helps the screamer express any emotions they may be dealing with in a controlled manner.
When you click on the link, then it tells you it's checking the environment. It checks the environment, then it confirms that the environment is okay. So when it says okay, you press yes to continue. Then it gives you a countdown. 1, 2, 3. Then when it gives you that countdown, then it tells you ready to scream. Then now you can scream. So when you scream, of course, a person can't scream like for eternity. So definitely they scream for maximum the 12 seconds that we have. When you finish screaming, it will take another few seconds, a minute or so, if you'll analyze a few things.
Still, psychologists urge caution. Anyango notes that while scream therapy can be a valuable outlet, it should never substitute talk therapy. Scientists have questioned whether scream therapy can really support mental health. Others have even doubted its long-term benefits.
With that information, it helps me to actually make the diagnosis easier. Like this person might actually maybe be having something underneath that, maybe the tension that they had, maybe the anger. So that is where maybe I get the information.
Whereas screaming may trigger a release of feel-good chemicals in the body, scientists argue that it may offer temporary relief, but that doesn't necessarily address the root causes of stress and anxiety.
When you scream, we normally have some hormones which are being released, and one of them is endorphins and oxytocin. So once you release that hormone, automatically you normally feel like calm, and you might even have the natural high. So scream therapy is just like a short-term therapy. But talk therapy, or rather the therapy that everyone knows, it's like a long-term therapy for you to assess those issues that you have and deal with those issues.
Whereas scream therapy is often considered safe, experts warn of potential risks, especially if practiced too often. Frequent or forceful screaming can strain the vocal cords, even cause lasting damage. While research around scream therapy may be limited, for people like Muchesia, the benefits are tangible. Each scream lifts a weight, leaving him lighter, calmer, and more in control. Screaming might just be the healing trick we've been waiting for. However, it's important to consult a therapist, as primal scream should be complemented with other mental health strategies for better outcomes. Gloria Milimu, KTN.